We're going to be looking at the Blue Anon conspiracies right now. This has 16,000 likes. Let's take a look at some of these Blue Anon conspiracies, okay?
Our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House.
The little secret is not hard to figure out. Elon has a high security clearance and owns Starlink. Where do you think those votes came from? He even knows he's going to prison. They're actually telling on themselves. Bro, the f*** do you make 10 million votes with a recount? You don't. And it's not happening anyway. But I do like it regardless. Let's take a look.
Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Dude.
Whatever it is, they will get away with it.
If we lose them.
So how did Starlink, manipulate the election results? Because this is like, I guess, the liberal Dominion voting machines version. And, like liberals, even when they're making up conspiracies, like their conspiracies are still very far-fetched because that's what conspiracies are. But even then, it's like within the realm of like, it's more reasonable than Che Guevara and Hugo Chavez used Dominion election voting machines to, I guess, manipulate the results, which is what the Republicans were saying. Both of those people are dead, by the way. That's why I'm saying it's like fucking hilarious. Yeah, who will be our Mike Lindell, I wonder? Some of those machines use Starlink as the internet connection. Okay, but chatters, remember what I told you about paper ballots and how they are the most secure way of tabulating the results? They still count the votes at the local level. And if there is also a recount, they can also cross-reference it off of direct paper receipts as well. There is no way that like Starlink could intercept the vote tabulation process and like change the outcomes. Like that's not how ISPs work. This one made me almost cry.
How you guys?
This is almost identical to the way Mike Lindell operated. What is going on? Oh my God, it's worse than I thought. We are looking at Blue Anon right now. It's Lib Watch time.
It does seem that way. You can't just be like,
I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think, will I see my children? I don't know.
Okay.
Kamala Harris is not done. She is, in fact, actually leaving Taylor Swift-esque Easter eggs, and I'm absolutely living for it.
What? Yo! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, we have a crisis. Okay, maybe Maoist third world evangelicals wasn't super wrong when he said we need therapy. Like, holy moly, there is some serious problems that are left unaddressed. Okay, God damn.
I'll show you what I just found. So for Kamala HQ or Harris Waltz emails, this is typically the bottom of the emails that you're going to receive from them. This email was sent to blank. Thanks so much for being a supporter. Paid for by Harris for president. As you can see, I got this one on November 5th. Obviously, election day. I just happened to go look at one now on the 9th, and this is what I see. The top part is the same. This email was sent to blank. Thank you so much for being a supporter. But now they're making a point to include the Harris Victory Fund. But that's not all. Will be allocated to Harris for President's recount account.
Yeah, because for each individual state where they actually do process a recount, like the candidate has to pay for it. I assume that's the reason why they're... What?
All those feelings we had, something's not right, the math is not mathing, what's going on? Don't worry, Prosecutor Kamala is on the case.
We've permitted the Delulu meta for liberal women for too long. Time for a server reset. Nah, I love it. Lean into it, queens. Okay? This is great. Yeah, the recounts are not just for like statewide. It is not just specifically for the Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump part of the ticket. The recounts there's a lot of very close state races. There's close congressional races.
I'm not surprised we haven't heard anything about a recount yet because there are a couple states that are not finished yet. I'm sure that the Harris campaign was really trying to look at the final numbers before they said, okay, let's go. I'm going to go donate, but just a reminder, as the saying goes, when we fight, we win.
Oh my God, this is my new favorite. This is now my new favorite account. Breaking: New York State could force Trump to live in a jail cell for the entire 4 years of his presidency. No, it will not. What planet are these guys living on? Oh my God. In June 2024, Trump started telling his supporters he didn't need votes. He had more votes than he needs. In October, Tucker said Elon was and would go to jail if Trump loses. Every single state needs a full investigation and recount, including Starlink activity.
Votes that we need. What we need, I tell these guys, I tell even RNC, I tell Michael, I tell Laura, I don't care. We have all the votes.
If he loses, man, what?
Dude, if he loses, I'm
It does seem that way. You can't just be like,
yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think, will I see my children? I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, this has 34,000 likes. Okay, let's watch this one. Oh, no jurisdiction outsources ballot tabulation. They have their own equipment as listed here. Tabulators are not connected to the internet during counting, though after completion and removal of data cards may transmit unofficial counts in a few jurisdictions. That does not mean that Starlink can intercept and change the results. Once counted, people would say, I counted the fucking votes. These are our numbers. This is 9 minutes long. This has 33,000 likes. Oh my God.
I really debated whether or not I was going to sit here and talk about this. I thought about it long and hard yesterday. I know that this is probably going to cause controversy, or this is going to cause whatever.
Oh my God. Libs are gearing up for Stop the Steal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Libs are gearing up for Stop the Steal. Oh my God. No shred of irony. Oh my God. Michelle Baker, Harris Walls 2024 Democrat fascism fighter, 63,000 likes. Stop fucking saying that Trump won this election. He didn't. Pay attention to what's happening. We all have access to the same information. This election was rigged by Trump. Leon? Oh, I think she means Elon. And Russia. Starlink was used. Millions of votes weren't counted. Wake the fuck up, America. Oh my God. Elon Musk. This is from What the Fuck GOP, dogging Trump. Foul mouth, proud Democrat. Motherfucker, my favorite word. Don't like it, fuck off. Elon Musk tells Joe Rogan he has an app that can tally votes during the election before anyone else. Starlink has now come into question. Dems won down ballot races in all 7 swing states, but didn't vote for Kamala for president. Can we at least agree that Starlink needs to be investigated now and all swing states do a hand count? I mean, Trump had GA count ballots how many times last time? 43,000 likes. Oh my God. Oh, look, Elon Musk destroying the evidence. This is 29,000 likes on Twitter. Oh, look, Elon Musk destroying the evidence. Starlink uploaded videos and Musk said he knew the election outcome 4 hours before the rest of us did. Dems won down ballot in swing states, but we're to believe they voted straight Dem ticket, but went for Trump over Harris. So much fishy about this. Trump winning the popular vote after losing it twice. Record turnout, but millions of votes missing. Swing states going blue down the ballot, except for his nomination. Voting machines being hooked up to Starlink. 171,000 likes. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people are doing the same exact shit that Republicans do, which is not understanding a process. And then because of your own personal inability of understanding how this like regular process works, you are now imagining like an alternate scenario. Oh my Lord. Oh wow. I didn't know it was this bad. I did not know it was this bad. I did not realize it was like this, chat. Oh my Lord, Blue Anon is so real. This is worse than Russiagate. Oh my God, they're doing Stop the Steal. Oh, this makes me so excited. This is kind of cool. I think it's kind of wild that on the one hand, we have officially reached like liberals basically saying like, F the Latinos, F the Muslims, like F everybody. We're going to deport our neighbors. Like, you know, it's going to be awesome. And also on top of that, they're now doing like Blue Anon shit. Oh my God.
And to be quite honest with you, I'd much rather lose and people know than not do anything and sit on it, okay? This was brought to my attention yesterday from a friend of mine. His name is Mr. Wheezy, Mr. Wheezy 100, and he's an engineer. I'm not going to get into information about him, okay? And he brought this to my attention because, you know, he also understands that, you know, I have my CCIE. You know, I've been a programmer and a networker for the past almost 11 years, you know, for networking and computers and all those, you know, all those other things. With that being said, it was brought to my attention, and I'm gonna, at the end of this video, make sure you watch the whole entire thing. Please post it, boost it, because I'd rather lose and, you know, lose whatever I need to in order to get the information out than to not say anything and sit on it, because I absolutely fucking refuse to be like this. This is a give back to my dad and, you know, everything that he went through. Anyways, with that being said,
not gonna lie, don't you think that this is low-hanging fruit to shit on them, considering the damage a Trump presidency will inevitably do? I know I sound like a lib right now. Wait, what? If something is just like demonstrably untrue, then I'm gonna call it out. You know, what do you mean? If your expectation for me is to not tell people that they're wrong, and I do this for the left, I do this for liberals, and I always do this for the right. If your expectation is that I just like, you know, sit back and watch this like mainstreamification of unhinged conspiracy theories that Republicans engaged with in the 2020 election defeat from the side of liberals, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not going to feed into people's delusions. Also, and this is perhaps even more important than anything else, it's very funny. Like, and it comes from the same exact anger and resentment that people felt in the 2020 election. Like, Republicans could not cope and reckon with the reality that like their president was unpopular. They loved him. So they were like, how the did our God King lose to a carcass? That's what they said in 2020. That's why they believed it. And the major difference here is that like no massive mainstream media outlet nor any politicians thus far are leaning into this like lib anon, blue anon conspiracies in the way that the entirety of the Republican Party leaned into it over and over and over again until it reached its final moment with January 6th. Anyway, I want to know what Mr. Wheezy had to say.
He sent me a video letting me know that California and other swing states were able to use Starlink in order to tally up and to count ballot votes or voting ballots in their state. Okay. There's a multitude of issues with that, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I'll explain to you in layman's terms, because you have to understand when it comes to computer programming jargon, you guys are not going to understand what the flying F I'm fucking talking about, okay?
Yeah.
So anything that you
knows.
guys don't understand or you want more clarification from, please message me. I have no problems explaining it to you. With that being said, okay, you also have to understand that when it comes to Starlink, okay, Starlink is a, you know, it's an IPv4, it's an IPv6. Basically what that means is that it's a specific satellite link-up system that sends signals to whatever it's hooked up to. Doesn't matter what it is, like a normal internet connection, right? With that being said, two things. Number one, why in the flying freaking flap?
Yeah, can you imagine like Kamala Harris retweeting this woman on her personal Twitter page? Because that's what Donald Trump did for like the entire lame duck period. Just understand how fucked up that was, and hopefully this will snap you back to reality. When Donald Trump did it, it was insane. Obviously, liberals will not do the same thing. Or at least like the party will not do the same thing, even though it seems like there's a lot of appetite from liberals, at least like on the ground, organically saying, I don't believe we actually lost.
Okay, we're voting fucking ballot or voting ballot boxes or whatever, you know, the places where you go to vote. Why were they connected to the internet? There is absolutely zero reasons as to why those systems were connected to the internet. Those machines have absolutely no problem tallying up votes like they have done since the beginning of time. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to come in here and talk about, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and help you because I know, you know, there's a lot more people voting and it's going to be difficult. This and that. There's not a lot of people that you volunteer to help. Blah, 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 blah. You know, let me help you to tally up the votes in order to be able to help you guys. And
I'm a top tier engineer working at Google. Starlink can't do what she's saying. IPv4 is just a fucking spec. Ignore anyone using words like these. She knows she's just using computer terms people don't know to sound smart. Very 80s hacker movie shit. I just don't understand. A lot of this data, I suspect, is probably encrypted. But not only that, but also like launching an initiative to literally go in, take all of this data and manipulate it, okay, in real time before it reaches like the appropriate destination is incredible work. Like, I don't think you have the capability, as far as I understand, to do that. And even if you were to have that capability, there's still people on the ground that counted the fucking votes. Like, what do you do about that? People are just gonna be like, wait a minute, like, that's not true. I am a person who was tasked with counting the paper ballots. like if she thinks that the vote machines that were connected to Starlink, which I don't think that that's what happened, but if she's saying that like the vote machines were connected to Starlink, even then, like, this is an incredibly complex scheme that I don't even know if there is enough technological prowess out there to in real time change these vote machines from clicking on Kamala Harris to automatically voting for Donald Trump. And if that was the case, why wouldn't they also swap out the down ballot races? Yeah, people who love being in the tank for Donald Trump also wanted Rashida Tlaib to outperform Kamala Harris by massive margins.
And make things easier for you. Oh, what a sweetheart you are. What a sweetheart you are. But for those of us who know the business, we're not dumb.
We need gay January 6th. I need it. You are correct. Libs do not understand how proprietary files work. Elon cannot just grab a super specific file through Starlink and just change the numbers within it and then send it back to the OG receiver. Think of it as a video game save file. You need specific software to read, access, and alter data within it. Libs have lost it 100%. No, and also doing that across the board in every swing state in real time. You have to have like the greatest hackers with the proper software and working in real time and doing it in a way where there's no trace that remains. And also, once again, like, it's virtually impossible for you to be able to do this because I think in every state, with the exception of like Missouri or Alabama, there's still a paper receipt. So what now? Anyway, hold on.
So again, you have to understand that when it comes to Starlink, okay, Starlink is a tri-band FI6 system. Okay, like I said before, it sends signals to whatever it's hooked up to and bounces back and forth, and this is that. You know what I'm saying? It's a basic system, highly intelligent AI process system, right? And with that being said, it's amazing, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to take away the fact that this man is a genius, okay? And I will say that, but genius in a lot of ways. Again, with that being said, you also have to understand that when you are using a Linux operating system, which is what Starlink also is, okay? This is going to be difficult to explain, but I'll try the best that I can. When you are sending signals back and forth to expel or to read information, right? The information that's being read, it's not normal information. So in other words, it's not a normal internet connection. Like irregular internet connections, it's a broad span of all different types of fucking information. Doesn't matter what it is, what you're looking up, 50,728 fucking things that come in and out of the fucking signal and processes it and allows it to bounce back and fucking tell you whatever fucking answer that you need, right? Okay, straight. Now, with Linux systems, there is no fucking way, unless you are processing different systems and different programming to the Linux BIOS in order to fucking bounce back the information that you're getting. In other words, the information that you're getting has to be the same repetitive fucking thing. So in other words, if you're gonna process this and you're going to tally up whatever, right? It's only going to process one specific thing. In other words, so let's say you're going to separate it, right? Okay, we're only going to separate this system so that way it only reads Dem votes, or it only reads, Republican votes, or only reads, Libertarian vote, or whatever, right? To separate each one in order to count things correctly in order for that to be correct, right? No. You have to understand, Linux systems do not work that way. It is a 4x4 minim system that only works bilateral base.
Dude, I believe her. The election losers are insufferable. I disagree with you, Megaphonics. I think she's right. Linux is hard to navigate. Also, believe all women. Yeah. Also, believe women. Okay? Some of you are disbelieving women, and you should be believing them instead. And that means unconditionally agreeing with everything that they're saying. Do you understand?
Based on what information it's fed. One thing to bounce back. So if you're counting something, it can't separate them. Is this making sense for you? You can't separate what it's counting. So with that being said, he would have had to separate his processing system. He would have had to have sent 3 different types of gens. Gens are different operating systems that separate between the linkage signal, right? In order to switch what it's doing. So with that being said, okay, he sent it down. He read a certain amount of certain votes, right? Sure, okay, that's fine. But that's not what the fuck you did. The whole entire time that you were using this system and you were using it to tally votes, you were using a Linux system. It doesn't split. It doesn't split.
She's right. The more she yells, the more I'm convinced. I don't know a dang thing about what the she's talking about. I've lost the plot so many minutes ago. And I'm inclined to believe her because she said tri-band FI6, and I think she literally just misread something that said Wi-Fi 6.
So how in the fuck were you counting things correctly when you weren't even able to separate what it was that you were counting? Is this making sense to anybody? No? Maybe? I don't, bro. I'm telling you. And not only that, this is why the numbers don't make sense. This is why the numbers don't make sense. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that is because, first of all, you had guaranteed states that were going to turn blue and didn't.
Wait, what? What do you mean by this? Like, what do you mean? Which states were guaranteed to turn blue and didn't turn blue? Like, at least this is the part where I do have knowledge, okay? Now we're back in my wheelhouse. And I don't understand where these people are coming from. She's a Blexis truther. I am unsubscribing yesterday. Why? Because I'm not invested heavily in the Blueanon conspiracies that are coming out in the aftermath of this electoral defeat. My wife's entire TikTok For You page is filled with people like this. Maybe not this insane, but the general premise of someone who doesn't know what the they're talking about, doing a selfie monologue, like they have any authority on subject they're discussing. That's just everything on TikTok.